Many thanks for joining me for the next 20 odd minutes as we unpack headline grabbing events from within and beyond Namibia. It's a pleasure having you as we wrap up the week through the primetime news lens. Good evening, I'm Michael Madiba. In the lead tonight, Donald Trump on Thursday became the first former US president ever convicted of a crime after a New York jury found him guilty on all charges in his hush money case, months before an election that could see him yet return to the White House. Now, the jury found him guilty on each of the 34 counts of falsifying business records in order to hide a payment made to silence porn star Stormy Daniels. He could, in theory, be sentenced to 4 years behind bars for each count, but is more likely to receive probation. Sylvia Hashandali unpacks this for us.
And the whole thing, we didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win.
The 77-year-old Republican, who was released without bail, is now a felon, a historic and startling first in a country where presidents are frequently described as the most powerful men in the world. Trump, however, is not barred from continuing his battle to unseat President Joe Biden in November 2024, even in the unlikely event he goes to prison. Sylvia Shandali reporting for Primetime News.
Back home, the Namibian Correctional Service and Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service on Thursday signed a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU aimed at formalizing the exchange of best practices and cooperation. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Namibian Correctional Service Commissioner General Rafaela Hamanyela said the two institutions have been long engaged in the exchange of best practices and sharing of knowledge, with a 5-year MOU aiming to formalize the existing relationship. Linia Dishena brings us more.
As of today, the 30th of May 2024, there are 7 male Zimbabwean nationals in our correctional facilities, consisting of 6 sentenced inmates and 1 awaiting trial inmate. Our aspiration is to enter into an agreement on the transfer of sentenced person with the Republic of Zimbabwe to enable inmates serving sentences in either country to apply for transfer to serve the remainder of their sentences at their respective home country.
Likewise, we need to commend this significant step, which is a great milestone in formalizing and legalizing the establishment of a binding relationship between our two services. This will certainly pave the way for intensifying exchange programs, and as ZPCS, we are eager to continue sharing what we have, and at the same time grateful to tap into your wisdom and experience.
With the recently concluded South African national and provincial elections, SWAPO Youth League Secretary General Ephraim Nekongo says Namibia could gain valuable insights from the South African electoral process, such as allowing voters to wear party colors when voting. Nekongo is in South Africa with the SWAPO party delegation on invitation by the African National Congress to observe the country's national and provincial elections that took place on Wednesday. Primetime News political correspondent Andreas Thomas filed this piece.
SWAPO Youth League Secretary General Ephraim Nekongo informed NAMPA on Thursday that the election in South Africa proceeded smoothly and peacefully. Nekongo noted that in many of the polling stations they visited, the atmosphere was calm and voters were in a respectful mood with no conflicts. He also highlighted that the dynamic in South Africa differs from those in Namibia. For instance, voters are allowed to wear party regalia to the election, but they are prohibited from chanting party slogans inside the polling booths. He mentioned that the delegation observed party supporters singing their songs outside the polling stations and saw members from various political parties mingling without tension. Nekongo further commended the Independent Electoral Commission of South Africa for permitting voters to continue beyond the cutoff time of 9 in the evening. Konjeni Iambinga reporting for Primetime News.
On to policing matters and updates from this week's court roll. The Windhoek High Court on Monday convicted a former police officer who previously admitted that he murdered his ex-lover and mother of his 2 children in 2021 in Keetmanshoop. 51-year-old Brian Plucky faced 6 charges including housebreaking with intent to murder and murder, attempted murder, 2 counts of contravening a protection order, assault by threat and malicious damage to property. Primetime News Court correspondent Eba Kandovado brings us this comprehensive report. Stay tuned for your top roundup with the business segment thereafter. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, the segment where we make sense of all things business and economics. The segment commences with trends and innovations in the banking sector. Now, First National Bank or FNB in Namibia has launched a portable card payment solution for businesses known as Speedy. According to FNB, Speedy is a cost-effective, convenient and compact point-of-sale device that allows merchants to accept payments anywhere and anytime, making managing their businesses more efficient.
Speaking at the launch on Thursday, FNB Namibia Transactional Product House Head Rivan Meyer highlighted the benefits of the device, saying it caters to a wide range of customer preferences, making it easy for small business owners and merchants to accept both card and e-wallet payments including Visa, MasterCard and UnionPay credit and debit cards. The additional benefits of Speedy include dual SIM and wireless connectivity, technical support offered telephonically across the country, and e-receipting system, daily activity reports, and quick settlement into main account settles into FNB business account within a day. Mayer, in conclusion, said the bank is aware of the ongoing need to innovate and look at new ways to respond to the evolving needs of SMEs and startups and develop cost-effective and convenient solutions to better cater to them while promoting financial inclusion. Sheila Perestrello reporting for Primetime News.
As now we look at the Eurozone economy. Annual inflation in the Eurozone ticked back up in May. Official data showed earlier today, but the setback was seen as temporary and unlikely to deter the European Central Bank from cutting interest rates next week. The data will, however, weigh on the ECB's moves in July and beyond, reinforcing expectations that the bank's decision on June the 6th will not kickstart a rapid rate-cutting campaign. Konjini Mbinga brings us this report.
European Central Bank officials will be disappointed by the data for core inflation, which strips out volatile energy, food, alcohol and tobacco prices and is a key indicator for the bank. The figures are, however, unlikely to stop the ECB from lowering rates on June 6, analysts said. The European Central Bank aggressively hiked rates starting in July 2022 to tame soaring inflation, but has held borrowing costs steady in the past few months amid growing pressure for a rate cut. After declining for several months, energy prices rose again by 0.3% in April, after recording a 0.6% drop in April. Food, alcohol and tobacco price increases slowed to 2.6% in May from 2.8% the previous month. Across the Eurozone, Latvia recorded the lowest inflation rate in May at 0.2%, Eurostated data showed. Finland came second, registering an inflation rate of 0.5% in May. Belgium was the highest at 4.9%. Konjeni Ambinga reporting for Primetime News.
This is where the top segment concludes for tonight. Up next is the countrywide Saturday weather forecast, followed by a roundup of the latest economic news. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment dedicated to all things sport in action. We commence with football. Players could strike in their bid to cut down on the number of matches they play. England's Professional Footballers Association warned FIFA. Now, football's world governing body is under growing pressure to address the workload of elite players with threats of legal action. The PFA wants action to alter the congested football calendar, especially with the expanded 32-team Club World Cup proposed for next summer. At an event Thursday in London by the PFA and FIFPro, the International Players Union heard that players were at breaking point. FIFA, in response, said it would guarantee player welfare with its harmonious scheduling. On to Bundesliga football. Vincent Kompany was officially presented as Bayern Munich's new coach on Thursday, insisting he did not share the football world's surprise at his appointment. Bayern's decision to take a gamble on the 38-year-old former Manchester City defender took many people by surprise because his first foray into managing in the Premier League ended with the relegation of his Burnley side 2 weeks ago. But Kompany said, "I think the aspect of being surprised is because you assume it is the only club that called, and you only assume it is because I'm a private person. Maybe I was surprised by the first call, but it wasn't from Bayern Munich," he told the press conference, speaking in a mixture of German and English. "My mentality is that I never haven't ever worked for a top club in my head," Kompany added. Kompany replaces Thomas Tuchel after failed attempts by Bayern to lure Bayer Leverkusen boss Xabi Alonso, Germany coach Julian Nagelsmann, and Austria's Ralf Rangnick to one of the biggest jobs in the game. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. That's it for this week's Primetime News. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. Before I bid farewell, here's a reminder to follow the on-screen prompts and subscribe to the Nampa TV platform for you to receive the latest happenings at your fingertips. Also, feel free to share your sentiments in the comment section. From myself, Michael Medimba, and my production architects behind the scenes, a blessed weekend and good night.